We're standing out here right now in South Crest, where this area was impacted very heavily by Monday's storm. It's the first sunny Saturday in San Diego in weeks. This is now the second day that students have been camped out here on campus. And because of that crack, now these signs are here warning people to stay back because this cliff is crumbling. Nearly a dozen officers here claim that they've been either targeted or unfairly treated by their police chief here at San Diego Unified. Here in Imperial Beach, the ocean behind me has been polluted for decades, and people living here say they just want to get in the water. Living a mile away from the beach sounds like a dream, but for Bethany Case, it's turned into a nightmare.
We don't come outside a whole lot because we know what we're breathing.
She's breathing raw sewage that gets kicked up into the air and carried inland. It flows through the Tijuana River and gets carried by the current to our coast. The International Wastewater Treatment Plant is practically inoperable. It's no match for the polluted blend that sears your nostrils with the stench.
It often smells like the worst porta potty you've ever been in. It's really frustrating. And to be honest with you, I've grown increasingly concerned about the health of our family.
And she's not alone.
Not only not solving it, but in the last...
The sewage crisis impacts thousands in the South Bay and across California's border with Mexico.
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. This is my home.
On Monday, California State Senator Steve Padilla introduced new legislation imposing fines on international businesses, adding to the pollution and also preventing another landfill. He hopes this will address the pollution emergency plaguing the region's binational communities for decades.
All hands on deck. Every possible approach that we can look at, we need to think about and take.
Taking it all the way to the Capitol.
We can't give up. And I don't feel like giving up is the answer because somebody has to do it.
Giving Bethany hope they might tackle the toxins in her neighborhood. Mackenzie Stafford, NBC7. For the past 2 months, the area along our southern border in San Diego has been the busiest in the country when it comes to people entering illegally. Just a year ago, you couldn't spot a super tall building out here in Chula Vista. Now, today, besides the weather, a lot has changed. The Gaylord Pacific has notably taken shape. An Ocean Beach father of 4 is speaking out this morning after someone tried to kidnap his son. Community members here, they tell me that this has started to impact their day-to-day lives. They say even going on a walk in the neighborhood doesn't feel safe anymore. Some even tell me they've seen public drug use right at this library, and they're wondering, when will something be done about it?
None of us want to go in the library because of it. The police come by, but they're not able to do anything.
After living in Pacific Beach for 45 years, Debbie Turnbull says she's seen more and more people living on Cass Street in their cars.
I personally think that it's got to do with them getting the people out of downtown.
And even though no camping signs are plastered across the park, neighbors say they get overlooked. People like Debbie wish the signs were more actively enforced.
It's sad. You know, I love living here.
But others say it's just too expensive.
A lot of people are reverting to the vehicles because obviously the rents are too high.
Living in his car for the past 6 years, Wayne Hunt says he doesn't always feel welcome.
The authorities, along with the residents, want everything to be family friendly. So, you know, they're trying their best to drive the homeless out, but where are they going to go?
Hunt says his friends prefer the library over city-run safe parking sites.
There's no, like, freedom there, and, you know, you got to be in at a certain time, you got to be out at a certain time.
And although he says the library is out of harm's way.
Oh, it's much safer than downtown.
Debbie says it makes her uneasy.
Now my friends just say, oh, you live in Pacific Beach, yeah, you know, because it's rampant.
Now, the vehicle habitation ordinance can be enforced so long as the city can provide another form of shelter. The city also says they're working to create more long-term solutions. Mackenzie Stafford, NBC7. 7 months later, Mishka is finally home. It's her first Mother's Day, especially when it's their first time meeting their baby. Either walk or run across that bridge every year to support our military.